Chapter 2. Alpha Denzel is here.
Alpha Denzel is here. Those taking part in abusing Valerie took slow steps back as the fearful man approached.
It was a wonder how Oman is good looking, carried terror with him everywhere he went.
Scarlet was scared to the bone. The things she heard about this man was true, and she hid behind Alpha Tristan.
How could it be that Alpha Denzel was appearing right at the time when they almost killed Valerie?
Scarlet was upset and afraid.
I only invited him for formality's sake.
He never thought he would come. Alpha Tristan spoke with a sunken look, only to the hearing of Scarlet.
Most people might take things with a pinch of salt, but Tristan knew it was not the same with Alpha Denzel. The man carried great wisdom and would easily detect the missing bits of the puzzle.
As Alpha Tristan thought about it, he forced himself to relax and protect Scarlet. After all, he had proof, but Valerie didn't and would not be able to defend herself.
Everyone gawked in a daze as Alpha Denzel walked elegantly, his black outfit casting a shadow on his irresistible looks. Most people were seeing him for the first time, but still didn't have a hard time knowing who he was due to his love for black. Women were drooling and yet afraid of this man.
Fear hung in the air as the man, who was like a walking grave, stood in front of Luna Valerie, but his burning gaze was pinned on Alpha Tristan.
Alpha Denzel never liked the crowd.
He never even took his beta anywhere.
He loved his own company, never fearing anything. If he needed help, his warriors were his best option because his beta was only responsible for the pack.
It was rumored that even death was afraid of Alpha Denzel, as he had escaped death at very close pangs a lot of times, including walking through fire and coming out from underwater when people thought he was dead. Ever since his mate was murdered in his pack with the murderer not found, Alpha Denzel was terrifying. My wolf drew me to my mate when IWA is passing by.
His voice was like a gentle breeze, but the depth was like an iceberg. Alpha Tristan paled at the mention of mate. How fast could it be that Valerie got Alpha Denzel as her second chance mate? Not long after her rejection, Valerie could only hear the voice of the man whom she was thinking to be her savior from a distance.
She was brutally wounded. The crowd began to shiver. Most people weary already, looking for a way to escape due to what they had done to the woman on the floor. She was naked and covered in bruises. The news was equally shocking to Valerie, and though afraid of Alpha Denzel, she was happy to enjoy his security.
Her wolf was suddenly excited again, and she was healing faster. With all due respect, Alpha Denzel, which she-wolf are you talking about? This woman was my mate, but she slept with another man. See for yourself.
Alpha Tristan gave his phone to Alpha Denzel. The latter returned it immediately, unable to take in the sight.
As they waited in anticipation of what he would do at the knowledge of what Valerie had done, his gaze softened as he knelt in front of the naked woman on the floor, staring carefully at her. His soft gaze hardened instantly, sending a stab into her heart. Alpha Denzel's hands bored into fists, his pupil shrinking as his an sword.
It's you. He remembered her, but it didn't seem same for Valerie. She was confused and didn't know what to say. Do you know her? Alpha Tristan asked.
Alpha Denzel suddenly recalled something and rose to his feet, instantly becoming self-conscious. A smirk appeared at the corner of his lips. Karma is indeed a bitch, he muttered. He must have been in search of both the murderer of his human mate and his second chance mate, but not this woman. Valerie's wolf's excitement died. She felt something odd. Before she could warn Valerie, the same painful words were thrown at her again. I, Alpha Denzel, reject you.
He paused, asking, what is your name? Her name is Valerie. Alpha Tristan spoke excitedly, relieved that Alpha Denzel believed him.
Everyone was shocked when they realized what was happening. Alpha Denzel was also rejecting the whore.
I reject you, Valerie.
From his icy glare, Valerie dared not refuse his rejection. Her body had begun to heal within the short time, but as soon as she responded, everything changed. I accept your rejection, Valerie said with a faraway look. Something flashed in Alpha Denzel's eyes but was soon gone.
Ripples of pain tore through Valerie's heart as she heard the cry of her wolf.
Suddenly, she could not feel her wolf anymore.
Hilga, she called her wolf brother, was no response for the first time in her life.
She called continuously, but it was the same.
The sound of retreating footsteps was heard as everybody sighed with relief. Nobody wanted to mess with Alpha Denzel. The late Alpha's daughter must be cursed to receive 2 rejections in a day. One of the Alphas mocked. The rest laughed. Tristan did not want to waste time, lest the moon goddess gave Valerie another mate. If she got accepted, she might come back for revenge. as she was relentless in pursuing the case of her father and elder sister. Warriors, kill her, Alpha Tristan commanded.
If Alpha Denzel had accepted Valerie, they would have all been doomed by now.
Scarlet was the happiest that Alpha Denzel punished no one for abusing his mate.
A warrior pulled out sword and walked up to Valerie.
Without her wolf, she was like a soulless creature, having a faraway look on her face. After 2 rejections, she lost the will to live, and happy that everything was going to end now. Her only regret was not being able to give her father a befitting burial.
Say your last prayers, the warrior said, lifting up his sword, but before Hekame into contact with her neck, which was his target, a certain summon turned abruptly from a distance away.
Stop. The smile on Alpha Tristan and Scarlet's faces froze when Alpha Denzel began to walk back again. We are dead, one of the warriors lamented in a hushed tone, thinking that Alpha Denzel had changed his mind after the rejection.
Valerie did not give in to hope when Alpha Denzel walked back, his stealthy words stuck in her heart like a dagger.
The treacherous daughter of a late Alpha should not be killed.
More suffering awaits her, he declared. Alpha Tristan had a smirk on his face, but from the venom dripping from Alpha Denzel's mouth, Valerie wished that she was rather dead.
Without her wolf, her strength failed her and everything turned pitch black. Valerie didn't know how long she was unconscious, but when she woke up, it was at where she expected.